Hello, everybody. It's Melissa K. Range, and I wanted to come on today to talk about, is reincarnation real? Do you believe in reincarnation? Why or why not? And if you do believe in it, do you think that you can get out of this place, get out of this realm, exit this realm, and do it with conviction, clarity, and know where you're going after you leave this realm? And the reason I'm asking you this is because right now I realized there's so much going on with me personally and my consciousness about what's going to happen when we actually transition and we leave this physical body and go to another place. And I know for me growing up in the Catholic faith, there was a lot of talk about going to heaven. Well, have you ever really stopped to think, what is heaven? What does that look like? And I will say to you, recently I've been watching all these movies about different things, and I'm so awake that I'm noticing in the movies the trickery, the deception, because truly that's what I believe, that we not only are tricked and deceived in this life here on the earth, but we're also tricked when we go to transition, because this place is a recycling center for souls, and there's battery power needed to utilize this realm, and they utilize souls and they enslave us. And yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but I've been watching and reading so much the last several months, and I truly believe that this is what is happening here. And we are going through massive changes on our planet, as we all know. And I have personally been through so much in the last few years, as I know we all have. And there's been so much trauma. There has been so much chaos, calamity. And so first of all, how do you navigate all that? And I've done many videos on how to navigate here with meditation, with nature, with forgiveness, with peace and calm, there's so many tools that we have here to go within, and that's the key. You have to go within. So most of us are so distracted with so much in our lives, and that's what happens here, is they're trying to keep us distracted all the time. How can they distract us? And then if they keep us distracted, we won't discover who we really are, and we won't know how powerful we really are. And we won't know that we can create whatever we desire. And like I was talking about movies before, if you haven't seen What Dreams May Come, you might want to watch that movie. I recently watched it because I heard about it from two other YouTube channels that I listen to. Actually, maybe now three different channels. And so I heard it 3 times, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to go watch that movie. So I rented it from the library because I couldn't find it somewhere else, and I watched that movie and I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. And when your eyes are wide open and you can see and you're awake, and we are awakening, we definitely are awakening as a planet, and this is cyclical. And I talked about a cycle last week, and everything is cyclical. And what happens is there's these cataclysmic events, or we're completely wiped out, and then we come back to this place. But we have to realize that as we wake up, we've got to do the inner work. We've got to do it, because if we don't do it, we're going to be tricked and deceived into coming back here again. And that's why I started this. Is reincarnation real? And I believe it is. And for a long time, I didn't believe in it. And now I know it's true, because I've had past life readings, I have done quantum hypnotherapy, and I know that my past lives are real. And so what have I gleaned from those? And that's the first thing I'm offering as an Akashic reading. What have I gleaned from my past life readings? And I did reach out to somebody about this and say, is Akashic reading, would that be good right now? And she didn't maybe seem to think it would be, but I really do, because what I think is that if you can understand some of your past lives and know who you were, what you did, you can either harness energy in a good way from that life, or you can actually learn to walk through the trauma of that life, and usually a couple of our lives are influencing us in this lifetime. So when we transition, we're tricked into they'll say to us, oh, well, don't you want to, heal that thing that you did with Aunt Mary back in, this time? Or don't you want to fix what happened with your dad or your mom or your spouse? And I know for me, I have worked so hard to clear everything I can in my life with every person, because whether it's feeling resentful, whether it's feeling I don't want to forgive them, anger, rage at somebody, whether it's my own personal trauma. And I shared with you all that right now I'm in doula school, and I know I have so much trauma from the births of my girls that if I don't clear it, I now understand that when I go to transition, they're going to throw that in my face. Now, it's going to be done in a loving way, and they're going to say, gosh, don't you want to go back and like have another baby so that you can do it over and do it differently and you'll feel so much better? And I'm going to look at them. Well, first of all, if I go to that tunnel of light, I'm not going to that tunnel of light, but I'm going to turn around and say, hell to the no. I'm not doing this. I'm not coming back to this simulation, to this place. And I'm making that very clear because I didn't really understand what it meant when I started saying that or feeling that. And now I have encountered hundreds of people online that know the same thing that I know. And so this makes me realize more and more and more how we are awakening. The good news about the awakening is the negative energies or the entities that want our energy to power their batteries, they know that we are awakening, that we are beginning to understand, and we are seeing and feeling the commotion, the authoritativeness, the ways that we don't want to comply with certain rules and regulations, and that there's a lot of corruption and that systems aren't working for us. And we're standing up and we are taking our power back in certain places. And we are taking responsibility in a lot of places, which we have closed our eyes and just let things go along because we're so busy. We're so distracted by social media, by our phones, by our computers, by our kids' activities, by our trauma, by our own internal things that we've never cleared. And that's the second one I'm offering. I'm offering a spiritual clearing. So if you want to know what that is, basically what it's going to help you to do is bring things up to the surface that you know need to be cleared from your life. And just to put a caveat on that, I'm not a therapist, I'm a coach, but I've worked with a lot of people through a lot of different trauma situations to help them clear those to an extent, or figure out what it is that's bothering them, or figure out what they don't want to admit. And something that I learned in 12-step program Al-Anon was we're only as sick as our secrets. And if we have secrets and we don't want to share them, we keep them locked inside, and maybe we feel guilty or we feel shame. Well, guess what? Again, I'm going to tell you, people, they're going to use that against you. They are going to use anything they can, and they know your whole life. They know everything about you, and they are keeping track of it, and they know who you've been. They know the Akashic records. They know a lot of the Akashic records, and they can go to the records and they can see what has transpired over your many lifetimes. And I believe I have been here many, many lifetimes. And either I'm finally reaching that place where I am so awake that I know what this place is. And again, I think a lot of us are really awakening to, I don't want to live this way anymore. This life I have is just too cluttered, or I'm so in the material world and I'm missing something and I want something spiritual. I want more for my life. I want to teach my kids something different. I see all the chaos and calamity and I don't want to be governed in this way anymore, and I don't feel it's right or moral. So we are seeing this. So the spiritual clearing piece can really help you to get back into the internal part of you and see where maybe you've got some blockages, or maybe where you want to get clarity on what you need to do to heal yourself, so that when you're ready to leave this place, you are clear and free of anything that could possibly be used against you. And I know that sounds really crazy, and we all think, oh, I'm going to go when I transition and lose my body and my soul's just going to go. We're going to go to this beautiful place, and we can, but we have to be prepared. I mean, think about it. In this lifetime, what kind of challenges have you had in your life? And what do you feel sometimes that there's something that really is sort of in your way or keep holding you down? And I've had that happen to me physically, and I've had it happen to me spiritually, and it's not fun, and it's really unpleasant. But now that I know how to deal with it, if some entity would come and hold me down the way it did several years ago, I know how to release and free myself from it. And a big piece of that is owning and understanding your sovereignty. And we've got to be embracing that, coining that phrase constantly. I am sovereign. And you probably have seen that now in places. And if you haven't, I would encourage you to go and look up sovereignty, look up what it means, because we truly are sovereign, free beings. But because we are being utilized over and over, and we're being sent back here over and over. And I would highly recommend you also watch Defending Your Life. It's another movie I recently watched. Of course, I heard about it somewhere else, but I would recommend you watch Defending Your Life. It is very powerful. And if you haven't heard, the way that Hollywood works is, and especially when they're talking about what's going on here, they have to tell us some truth within the lies. They have to be truthful within some of the deception. That's just how it works. And again, I'm no expert on all of this stuff. All I know is that my eyes and my senses are very wide open, and I'm very aware that I have been giving my power away for many, many years. And I will not let it happen anymore, and I will not let it happen when I go to transition. So I would watch that movie, What Dreams May Come, and I would watch the movie Defending Your Life. And then maybe you want to put some comments under this video, or you want to send me an email at melissa@melissakrange and tell me what you learned, because those are just two, and I'll have more. And by the way, I tried to do this video on Wednesday, and guess what? I did it on YouTube Live, and it came back with no sound again. And so then I tried to do it on my phone, and it didn't work, and it wouldn't upload. And I'm just laughing because all the people that I watch and talk to, it seems like we all are having issues when we're trying to get a message out in some way, shape, or form. So truly, I really want my message to be on a broader scale. And so hopefully maybe I'll be writing a book soon. I don't know. That's kind of running around in my head, but I digress. Back to this. Okay, so let's talk about exiting the realm plan. And that's the third service that I'm offering. So 3 is my number, and 3 is the number of change. And I haven't really known what I wanted to offer. And since I'm in doula school right now, I can't do doulaing yet until I'm finished with my classes. But my last offering is this exit the realm plan. And I don't mean like you're ready to go. And, you know, of course, I never would encourage suicide. That's not the way to go, because first of all, there are resources out there for people who are not in a good space. I do know this for me. I have wanted to leave this place many times, and not from a place of suicide, but from a place of like, this is not my home. This is not my place. I don't feel right here. I don't feel whole here. I don't understand why we have all this suffering and why we have all these challenges. I just don't get it. And I've known that since I was a little girl. I've seen the corruption since I was a little girl, but a lot of it I pushed down, and I just kept going because that's what I watched society do. Just keep going. Just keep moving along. You know, don't worry about it. Like, just stuff it down. Well, no, I don't want to stuff it down anymore, because that just makes me feel worse. But this exiting the realm plan is about where if you were confronted with a situation about your mom or your sister or your spouse or one of your children, and you have resentments or you have issues that you've never cleared, or you have things that somebody would bring up with you, some being, and again, if you start watching some of this stuff, you do feel, and I've watched these NDE videos, and I would highly recommend you start watching this channel, Forever Conscious, because this guy breaks down people's NDEs, and he talks about how these people are tricked. And one of them, stuff flies out of this person as they enter the tunnel, and he doesn't even know what they are. And there's just, you can listen to these videos, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Now, these people haven't fully died because, of course, they all come back. They're near-death experiences. But they talk about their experience and what happened. And this guy on the channel, he breaks them down. And it's fascinating because you can really tell that they are deceived and they're tricked. And then what happens? They go back to Earth. And now, mind you, sometimes, like, for example, if I were to have an NDE, would I want to leave the earth right now? No, I wouldn't, because I've got my family here, my kids, my dog, my friends, my work. I don't want to leave yet. So would I probably be willing to come back? Yes, I would, because I want to live, another 50 years and experience this place, because guess what? I'm not coming back, so I might as well experience it. So, but they trick these people, and it's just, you got to go watch it. So that's another channel that I've been watching for the last several months. It's called Forever Consciousness, I believe. And I can post it here under this video. And I'm taping this video, and then I'm going to post it, because hopefully then it will work. So if you're interested in getting an Exit the Realm plan, hopefully this video will come out and you can actually read that, then please send me a message. And my email is melissa@melissakrange.com. I took my website down because I'm having an issue in my life with the word Phoenix, and that's what my page was, Phoenix Rising. But something within me is going on to where I don't feel like I'm a Phoenix anymore, and I don't really know exactly what is transpiring for me and my work, but I did feel called to offer these services for people, because I think they would be really helpful to get very clear on your life. And as more and more of us do awaken, we need to stand in our power, and we need to be dynamic believers in ourselves, in who we are, in our divine nature. And I'm reading this book now, and I just started it, and my consciousness is trying to process it. So I'm not even sure what I'm reading, because it's very profound yet simplistic information. I can't even think of the name of it now, but I watched this interview the other day, and I've watched it a couple times now on YouTube, and I think the guy is called Leak Project. I think that's the name of his YouTube channel, and it's fascinating. He interviewed this man who read this book, but who also has been doing this spiritual work for a while, and it's just amazing what we really don't know. But right now we can step into those places of power, into those places of sovereignty, into those places of knowing who we really are. And that's really important right now and in the next few years, because I believe it's probably going to get worse here, to where we're feeling compressed. And I listened to another guy that was talking about the compression. And in order to, per se, if this is what's going to happen, birth a new earth, or birth not, and I'm not going to say birth 5D or something like that. I don't believe in that. Birth something new for this place. If that's what's coming, which I'm really not sure if it is or not, then we need to be ready. And we need to be in a space of peace within ourselves and not be afraid of the death piece, which I know so many people are afraid of the death piece. And I was too. I was afraid of the death piece. When my parents died, I went through a lot of fear around death. And I was just like, what does it look like? What does it mean? Even though I could hear my parents and they said they were okay. But now I'm hoping that they're not in this astral planet in like a holding zone. Go watch Defending Your Life. To where then they'll have to come back. And I've talked to them and said, like, if you can get out of this place, out of the holes in the matrix, get out and go, to the void, go to a higher dimension that is definitely a place of liberation, of freedom, of love, of peace, of joy. And we can find those things here too, and we can live those things. But for me, what I've realized and what I've known since I was a little girl is there's so much suffering and there's so much hatred and there's so much division. And that doesn't mean it can't change. Yet I think it's a cyclical thing. It's a loop. And this is our opportunity right now to really anchor in more of those wonderful things if that's what is to come for us. And again, I don't know if that's what's to come for us, but I do know that I'm here right now to help you to see and uncover who you really are and how to shift some things in your life right now so you can not only be a powerful sovereign being right now here on this earth plane, but when you go to make your transition, whenever that is. And I don't believe, I know when my time is, and I don't know how it's going to happen. And I know probably most people don't, but we can be prepared for that as well. And who would have thunk that we needed to prepare for that? But if you go back and read history, the Gnostics knew it, the Cathars knew it, the Egyptians knew it. So why wouldn't we know it? Well, we're not taught it. And there's no emphasis on that because they don't want us to know. They want it to be secret and private so that we can be recycled and used as batteries. So I hope that you will reach out to me at melissa@melissakrange.com for one of these services that I offer. I would be happy to help you. I would love to help you. We can do a meeting on like your phone, on the phone. We can do in person. We can do Facebook Messenger. So there's lots of ways. I've given up my Zoom account, but I think I have it till January. So we can even do Zoom. So just let me know if you're interested in getting together to work on one of these aspects of your life. And I'll help you where you are in your life right now and understand maybe some more of these concepts that you're not familiar with, or you're not in a place of understanding or deep knowing. And you can really start to awaken more of your consciousness. And really, that's my hope for everybody, is that you really begin to wake up and take responsibility for your spirituality and who you really are, because you are a powerful, wonderful, amazing, divine being. And we all need to wake up to that fact. Those of us who are souls, because I also heard recently that there's a lot of non-souls out there. So the ones of us that are souls are the ones that will find this information. They will find the people they need to find, and they will take action on doing something to bring their spirituality more in the forefront of their lives, because it is critical and it's no joke. So I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I look forward to connecting with you on here again. I hope it's next Wednesday, but you know what? We'll see. I'm just going with the flow. All right, take care. Have a super duper day.